Family, hope all is well. Thankful for another day. Just got out of a meeting, heading to another one. And this past meeting, the one I just got out of, just blew my mind. Um, Nothing crazy happened in the meeting that's like, oh man. But what blew my mind is that, this was a meeting where my goal was to play kind of the role of just appreciation for the person that I was meeting, as well as, filling in some gaps, as relationship handoffs are taking place, and I'm trying to just make connections between this and that and that and this. And what blew my mind is that despite the stories I was hearing and how I was trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together, what I learned, what I experienced in that meeting was not what I expected. And it resulted in me being really welcomed and encouraged to quickly get past what I was trying to say and do on the humble tip. But then, all right, let's move forward and figure out what's next. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready to hear that, nor did I expect that. I had very low expectations just because I didn't know how this other person was going to receive me, because I wasn't a part of any early conversations and experiences. And even though those experiences did not go as planned and I wasn't a part of it, I'm picking up the pieces. And as you can imagine, that can be challenging when there's so many pieces to pick up and so many unknowns that are happening real time. So the reality was that it was a very positive meeting. And, it goes back to what we talk about on this channel. Obviously, co-work with me is the focus of the channel. However, fastest way to grow your business, elevate your business, strengthen your business is through relationships. And there's no way around it. And I've seen this play out time and time and time again in my business, in nonprofits, in government, personal relationships, church relationships. There's no way to beat it. You got to have relationships in place, and you got to develop relationships in order for you to achieve the goals that you have. Can't do it on your own. And in part, your ability to mend fences, whether you broke the fence or not, whether you breached the fence or not, whether you bent the fence or not, it doesn't matter. But if you're walking into this place where the fences need to be mended and relationships resuscitated, do what you got to do. Be humble. Apologize for what was, what could have, what used to be, what should have been. Take ownership of it, especially if you do know that you played a role into it, right? Humility and apologies and sincere shifts and change makes a difference. But when you're in a situation where you're acquiring a relationship or you're taking over a relationship and now it's in your hands because you're trying to grow an opportunity, a relationship, a book of business, your business, own it. See what comes of it. But if nothing else, your apologies, humility plays a role in moving things forward one way or another. And as it relates to this conversation, it did turn out very positive. It was not what I expected. But now I have to, finish processing all that was discussed and uncovered and discovered. I have to process what was recommended. I have to process being welcomed with open arms. I have to process the let's move forward perspective and let's build and create and actually do it. And that's exciting. That's what I have a history of doing. That's what I'm excited about. But again, relationships, it means everything. It means everything. So my hope is that you're building relationships, particularly with your small business, your micro business, whether you're starting it, you're growing it, evolving it, maturing it. Relationships are key. Now, this relationship, I believe, is going to move forward in the right direction, but relationships aren't the only key to this problem of business growth, revenue growth, etc. You got to have strategy, slowest component of all three, but necessary and unavoidable. You got to have performance, my opinion, low-key dark horse, most important, and you got to have relationships. So while the relationship, I think, is going to mature and be what is going to become, strategy is already happening in the background. Now we got to get some results for ourselves, for our partner, for our partners, and figure out what that is. And that's the enigma I'm working on right now with this nonprofit, figuring out the performance, figuring out what our lane is, figuring out how to get consistent results, figuring out where our customers exist. I think in the previous segment, I might have gotten the answer. If not, I've gotten closer to it. That I do know for sure. And maybe we'll talk about that in another segment, about how do you find your customers. But here's part of the secret. Read Russell Brunson's books, the trilogy of books, where he talks about how to find your customer, how to spend time with your customer, how to connect with your customer, how to build a relationship with your customer. Internet business, brick and mortar business, doesn't matter. You gotta go spend time with your customer. You gotta go find them. You gotta go make it happen. And his book has been instrumental in helping us do what we have been doing for the past X number of years we've been in business. So keep building that relationship. Keep working on your strategy. Keep working on your performance results. It's little by little. Make it happen. Keep grinding away. And when all else fails, be humble. Apologize. Keep your mouth shut. Learn. Grow. Repeat. See y'all later.